Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. So today we will be having our fourth lecture, and we will be discussing Boolean Algebra. So before starting, let's talk about some language stuff, right? So you normally say some words or some sentences like today is Monday or it is raining, and normally you always pronounce compound statement, and those statements, they are either true or false. But if you look at those different statements, so you can see that this is a conjunction, right? And this is also concatenating these two different statements, and then we have another and over here, and here we have a not, right? So if you look at this second statement, right, so today is Sunday or it is not raining, right? So you have to say or conclude that this has to be true or false, and then this is a contradictory statement like today is Monday and today is not Monday, right? So on the whole, those compound statements has to be true or false. So this is a sort of logical conclusion which you may decide on the basis of the meaning or maybe right. So but the things becomes more complicated when you come across those sort of different statement. Like if you look at it is not Monday and it is Monday, or it is raining and it is Monday. So it's very difficult to conclude this. But if you have if you solve it logically, or you like if we replace this night time with n, for example, bar, right, and we say that we call Monday MON, right, and then we have raining, right? So so it is not night time and it is Monday, so I place a dot here, and then I place a plus replacing R. So you can conclude on the basis of those different replacements and solution methodologies. So that's what we are targeting today, that how the Boolean algebra evolves. So for me, its evolution or its roots are in the evolution of languages, right? So a formal logic, right, or you can say in a formal logic, a statement is a declarative sentence, so it has to be true or it has to be false, right? So in computers, it's easier to communicate from one unit to another unit, or within different components within a unit using formal logic, because it takes two values, 1 or 0, which we normally say true or false, on and off, yes or no. So it's easier to communicate or to transmit data while using this formal logic, right? So so let's move to the Venn diagrams, and they always are explaining the same sort of and or not. So if you look at this diagram, so it is A union B, right? If you look at this A, right, and then B, we have two circles, right, and you can say this is A, right, union B, the area contained by A, right? Or B, if you talk about the objects, so the objects has to be contained in A or in B, right? But if you talk about the intersection, so here we have A and we have B over here. So if you are talking about an object, so object should be in A and it should be in B as well. So this is the intersection. So this shaded area represent, if you talk about the area, so this shaded area represent that it is in A and it is in B also, right? So here we have the complement. So this is the area, as we know that this color within the circle, it represent A union B. So whenever you talk about the complements, right? So over here, if you see, we have A union B, which is this area enclosed by these two circles, right? So, but when you talk about the complement, you can see that this is the area with red color, right? So this is the A union B and its complement is the rest of the area in the rectangle, right? And that exclude those two circles that represent A union B, right? And this is the same stuff, right? If you look over here, if you talk about A complement only, then you can say that if we have A only, then this red shade will be the A complement, but we are using intersection, right? So if you talk about B only, then we have this is complement as the red area, right? So A complement and then intersection B complements, so then they are the same, right? So you can say that whenever you break the complement, you have to change the sign, but they represent the same regarding the Venn diagrams, right? And this is very simple, right? If you have A and then its complement is, so that A, right? So that A is this circle and its complement is the area, or right? So this is A complement. And if you talk about A, right, plus A bar B, or you can say A union B, because we will be doing this after a couple of slides, right? So that I will leave for the other slides. So if you look at this, right, so this and they are the same. So let's talk about in lines, right? So if you talk about A complement, and then you have noticed, if we say that the A complement, they are the vertical lines, right? So you can see that if this is A, right, so that A complement represent the vertical lines, and those lines are not being passing through this circle, right, but they are passing through this circle, which is B, right? And if you talk about the B complement, right, so if you look at here, right, you want to explain that A complement and B complement, or A complement intersection B complement, then you can see that if you talk about those lines, the A complement represent the horizontal lines, right, and the B complement represent the vertical lines, right. So you can see that those horizontal lines, they are not being passing through this A, and the vertical lines represent B complement, and they are not being passing through this B, right. So but they have their intersection, right, they are passing each other outside those two circles. So this is the area that represent A complement and the intersection B complement, right. So you can see that those lines, they are intersecting each other outside those circles. But if you talk about the A complement only, so this should not pass through this A, right. And if you talk about the B complement, so those vertical lines, they should not pass through this B, right. So this is little bit about Venn diagrams, right. So that is basically the base of this Boolean algebra, right. So actually Boolean algebra is a tool that we normally use for the analysis and simplification of the digital circuits, right. So if, for example, you have a circuit like this, so here you can see that we have a very long expression and we have to use 4 number of different gates, right. But you can use only 2 gates and it will be doing the same job. So what we did over here, we have used this Boolean algebra as a tool to simplify this circuit, right. So we will be looking after number of slides that how we normally handle this Boolean algebra when we simplify different circuits, right. So let's talk about the operators in Boolean algebra, right. We have 3 different operators that are the basic operators, and, or, and not, right. And obviously those operators, they operate on different binary values or different binary variables, which we normally say literals, right. So if you talk about switching, right, so you can say that we have, for example, a variable x, right, and it contains 0 and 1 because we can only have 0 and 1, right. So you can talk about false, true, or off, on, right, low, high, right. So these are different ways to represent those switches. You can say on, off, right, high, low, false, true, or true, false, and so on and so forth. So it's up to you how you want to represent or pronounce, right. So let's have an example. If we have a Boolean space and we have 2 literals, x1 and x2, and this is the space, right, Boolean space. We have 0, 1, and this is the square, right. So we normally represent this space in this way. We have 0, 1 cross 0, 1. So if you are interested in the number of combinations, different combinations that this Boolean space can have, so we have 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1, right. And if you talk about their representation in a square way, right. So you can see that we have 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1, right. So this is if you think Boolean algebra regarding switching. So after a little bit of introduction of Boolean algebra, so these are the bullets which we will be going through in today's lecture. we will be talking about truth tables because they are very important, and we can represent a circuit or an expression by a truth table. Then we can also use waveforms, right? And we will be discussing different axioms of Boolean algebra, right? And how we reduce the circuitry, and then we will be discussing different transformations, right? So as we discussed before, that Boolean variables that can have two values only, true, false, on, off, yes, no, 1, 0, right? And you can represent those different binary variables by using different alphabets. You can use any of the alphabets, like here we can use A, B, small y, or x1, or you can use whatever you want to represent a binary variable from the set of alphabets, right? So these are the logical operators. We normally have basic logical operators, and or not, and the and is represented by a dot or is represented by plus sign, and we place a bar at the top of an identifier when we want to represent its complement, right? Okay, so if you look at those examples, right, we have y is equal to a cross b, so we will read it like y equals a and b. So this cross is represented by this a, and then we have z is equal to x plus y, and this plus is represented by this r, right? So it will be read as z is equal to x or y, right? And then we have a complement, right? And this is replaced by not, okay, right? So x is equal to not a, right? So this is interesting. Like whenever we perform normal addition, we say 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, but this is not true in Boolean algebra. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 1, right? Or you can read it 1 or 1 equals 1, right? So this is something different, and you have to handle it differently when you are using Boolean algebra, right? So these are the representation of same Boolean operators in tabular form, right? So here we have the possible combinations, right? If you have two variables, right, x and y, right, and we can have 4 different combinations, right? So 0.00, and then 0.10, 1.00. So whenever you have one of the input as 0, so you will get 0 as a resultant, right? And when we have both ones, we will get a 1. So this is and then we have the or, 0 plus 0, 0, and then 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 0, 1, and 1 plus 1, 1, right? So this is the or. Whenever we have a 1, we will get 1 as a resultant, right? And in case you have both 1, we will always have 1, right? So, and then we have the not, right? So if you have a 0 and you have taken its complement, then you will get the 1, right? Or if you have a 1 and you have taken its complement, you will get the 0. So this is the inverting and input, right? So these are the definitions of these operators. Then the truth tables, right? So this is the representation of the same Boolean operators, but we have a table over here. So the operation is and, right? And we have named those 2 different inputs. This is the x, and this is the y, and this is the output. So this is a tabular form, and we normally call it a truth table, right? And this is for OR. You can see that we have X, Y, Z is the output, so it's equal to X plus Y or X or Y, right? This is for NOT, right? So we have X and Z is equal to X bar, right? You have a 0, you will get 1, we have 1, we will get 0. So if you are using switches, right? So this is a parallel circuit, right? And this is the light. So if we have one of the switch closed, the light will go on, right? And if this is on, light will turn on, and if or this switch will be on, then light will be on again, and if both are on, then again the light we will have. So this is that the current can go from here or from here, or it can travel both ways to make the light on. So this is the OR representation when you talk about switches, right? And then if you place those switches in series, so here we have the parallel, right? Right? And here we have the series deployment, right? So you can look that we have two switches, right? If you name them A, this is switch A and this is switch B, right? And the light will go on when we have both of these switches on, right? So it means 1 and 1, right? So if you think about the statement, so the light will go on when the switch A and switch B are closed, right? If one of these switches is open, then this light will not turn on, right? So this is the NOT, right? So we are handling the complement externally, right? So logical 1 means switch is open, and logical 0 means switch is closed. So we are handling this NOT operation externally with the help of switch. So this is another example when we have mixed those AND, NOT and OR. So as you know that we replaced the OR by parallel switch, and then whenever we want to talk about the AND operation, we place the switches in parallel. So this whole, if you talk about series, so if you take it as the whole unit as a switch, so then, and we name it as X, right? So the bulb or the light will go on when A and X will be closed. So it has to be closed, right? And then you can solve this box, right? So here you can see that we have B, again we have the AND operation, but here we have the complement. And if you talk about this and this is the OR operation, right? So this is a much more complicated example when you talk about switches, right? So the light will turn on when this switch will be closed, right? And this or this will be closed, right? So you can look that we have A, so this is the AND operation, and if you take this as X, right? So A dot X, right? then if both the inputs are high or both the switches are closed, then we will be getting a 1, right? And if you solve it, right, you have to multiply AB C bar plus AD, right? Right. So in digital systems, you normally design different circuits. Those circuits has to perform different functionality, right? So it's a sort of design problem, that what are your requirements, what sort of inputs you have, and what are your desired outputs you want to draw from those circuits which you have designed to solve a particular problem, right? So there can be many different solutions, right, to address a problem, right? Sometime you concentrate on the size, that your size of your circuit should be smaller, or another time you are focusing on power, that it should consume less power, and maybe you are more interested in performance, right? Your circuitry or your digital system should perform in an efficient and effective way. So this is a block diagram of a circuit. You have a block, and then you have inputs, and you have different outputs, right? So and you have to analyze, right? Right. So whenever you talk about digital systems, you normally talk about analysis, right? Different problems. For example, you have a problem and you have to solve that problem by using a digital circuitry. So there will be some input signals, and your circuit has to provide some output, desired output signal, right? And whenever you talk about the design, sometime you focus on the size, like your circuit should be smaller in size, or maybe you are more interested that it should consume less power, right? But another time your emphasis or your focus is on performance, that your circuit should perform in an effective and efficient way. So we have different inputs and different output, and we have to analyze the problem, and then we should decide our priorities. Like if you talk about the performance, then your circuit should be performing in an effective and efficient way, right? So for example, if you want to design a circuit for a toll booth controller, so here you can see that we have two inputs and we have two outputs. Like we have to open the gate, and then after the car or the vehicle is passed, we have to close the gate. So the gate open and close, right? So this is the desired output, and the input is whenever a person throw a quarter pound dollar, and there is a car sensor that is attached, right, to this circuit. So we have two inputs. A quarter has to be thrown, and then the sensor should sense the car, and then the gate should be open, right? And when the car is passed, the gate has to be closed. So this is a very simple example of a digital circuit. So you have two inputs, and you want a two desired output, right? So the truth tables, they are very important. You can represent the functionality of the circuit by using the truth table, or you can use the Boolean expression to represent the functionality of the circuit, or you can also have can use the symbols, right? So if you look at here, we have a truth table, right? So we have A and as an input, right? And we have a Y as the output. So we have a 0, and this 0 will be converted into 1, and then we have a 1. This 1 will be converted into a 0 when we pass this input through this inverter or through this circuit, right? So truth tables are important. Whenever you have to design a circuit, you can take the start from the truth table, or you can take the start from the Boolean expression, right, after properly defining your problem. So this is almost the same. The AND gate operation, when both the inputs will be high, you will be get high. This is the OR, and this is important. Like this is another way of representing the functionality of the circuitry. You can use waveforms, right? So you can look that we have a one waveform here, another waveform here, and this is the resultant, right? If you look at here, so we have 0, so this is the level 0, right? And this is the level 1, right? So 0, 0, we will get the 0, right? So here we have 1, but the second input is 0, so we will be having 0 because we are dealing with AND operation. And then over here you can see that we have both inputs high, so we will get the output high, right? 1, 1, 1. Then this is 0, and here we have 1, right? And we will get the 0, so 0, 0, 0. So this is the OR operation, right? Whenever you have a 1, right, on any of the two input, either X or Y, right, you will get a 1. So this is high, this is low, so you will get a high, right? So this is high, and you will get a high, right? So now the first input is 0 and the second input is 1, so we will be continue with 1 because previously we also have 1, right? So then we have 0, 0, 0. So this is the NOT. So you can say that if you talk about this X, so this is the mirror image of this X, or inverter or inverse of this X. So here we have a 0 and here we have a 1. So here 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. So this is the, you can say that the opposite or inverse of this X, right? So waveforms can be used another approach to represent the functionality of the Boolean logic or Boolean circuitry, right? And then we can have 3 inputs on a particular gate. So we have an OR gate over here, and we have 3 inputs because till now we are talking about only 2 input gates. So we can have 3 input gates. It depends on the manufacturing, right? So here if you talk about A, B and C, they are representing the input, right, in the waveform. So we have this is 0 and this is 1, right? So we have right, so here we have 1, right, and the output will be high, right? So then we will be moving on, right? So here you can see that we have all the inputs, right, they are 0, right? So now we will have resultant 0, 0, 0, and then 0, right? So again, and then we have 1. Any one on any of the input will make the output high, right? So we have a 1 over here, so this will be 1, right? So this is the timing diagram, you can say, right? So you can have more number of inputs. Here we have 3 inputs. So this is the truth table. So this is representing the functionality of this OR gate. So we have 0, 0, right? So if you count the number of possible inputs, you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 raised to power number of inputs. So it means we can have 8 different combinations if you talk about 3 input OR gate. So you can have the output. So whenever we have a 1 on any one of these 3 inputs, we will be getting 1, right? So let's talk about the precedence or ordering. Like if you is it A dot B, and then we have OR with C, right? A and, right? So this is ended with B plus C. So how you will be handling this, right? So in Boolean logic, we will be giving more precedence to AND, right? And after solving the AND, OR will be the next one. So OR has the second precedence, right? So if you look at here, so you can see that we have A plus B, right? And we have to put a bracket over here in order to make things understandable or more simplifier, right? Then there are some identity elements, right? For in case of OR operation, we have 0 as identity, right? And in case of the AND operation, we have 1 as the identity element, right? So this is important. Like if you look at this, right? So A plus 0, we will get the same whenever we perform OR operation and we are using or we are talking about the identity element. Then we have A dot 1 is equal to A, because we are getting the same result, right? Okay, so this is commutative property. You can commute the inputs, or we can say A plus B is equal to B plus A, so it will not make any difference. So they are commutative, right? So similarly, if you have A dot B, you can write it B dot A, so they are also commutative. Then we have the associative property. If you look at this, A plus B plus C, so you have associated B and C and you have placed brackets, right? Then we have here we have associated A with B and we have placed a bracket, right? So here the C is alone. So this is the associative property. If you talk about the AND operation, because we know that this dot is AND, so here we have B, C, B is associated with C, and you can associate A with B and they will be equivalent to each other, right? So this is the distributive property. You can distribute, like here we have A plus B dot C, right? So what you have over here, so it is A plus B, and this is dot and A plus C. So and A dot B plus C is equal to A dot B plus A dot C. So this is the distributive property, right? And we have so A plus A bar is always equal to 1. This is another important property, right? And A dot A bar will always be 0, right? You can think if A is 0, for example, right? So this we will be having a 0 over here plus, so if we talk about the complement of 0, right, we will be getting a 1, right? So 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. If we take A as 1, right, so we have a 1 over here, and then it's A bar will be 0. So 1 plus 0, 1, right? Similarly, if you try to solve this, if we have A is equal to 0, so 0 dot 1, 0, right? Or if you take A as 1, 1 dot 0 is equal to 0. So these are also very important identities, right? So duality, if you consider this A plus B dot C, because whenever we have a expression like this, so this is understood that there is a dot, and that dot represents the AND operation. So you can replace this first, first you have A plus B, right? You have used this A with A, and then you put the brackets, and then we are left with C. So now we will use this A with this C, and we put another bracket. So this is a state multiplication. If you have A into B plus C, you will whenever you are solving this bracket AB, we will be getting AB plus AC, right? So this is the involution property, right? Whenever you have a double complement, so it will cancel out and you will get the original A, right? So this is involution property, right? So this is absorption. If we have A, right, plus AB, we can replace it with A, simple A, right? So you can solve it, right? So this A, if you multiply this A with 1, it will not make any difference, so you will take A common. So 1 plus B will always be give a 1, right? Or B 1 plus B or B plus 1, they are the same, right? So here A into 1 is equal to A, so hence we have proved. So this A plus AB is equal to A, right? And now we have to study the DeMorgan's law, right? So if you have two inputs, A plus B, and this comma is representing their complement, right? So A plus B whole complement, right? So what we will be getting, we will get A complement dot B complement, right? And if you have A dot B whole complement, then what you will be getting, A complement plus B complement, right? So this is the example. You can solve it yourself, and you can see that we have brackets over here, right? So this mean we have complement this, and you can solve it by yourself, but this is to make you people realize that how you handle the Boolean expressions and use DeMorgan's law to simplify that, right? So this is putting them all together, right? So we have x dot 0, we will be getting 0 all the time because this is the AND operation, and when one of the input is 0, we will always get a 0. And then this is x dot 1, so we will be getting x. If x is 0, we will get 0. If x is 1, we will get 1, right? So this is again AND operation. Then x dot x is not equal to x square because this is Boolean algebra. So x dot x is equal to x, right? And x dot x bar will always be a 0, right? And x plus 0 will always be the x. If you have x 1, we will get 1. If you have x as 0, then we will get the 0. Then x plus 1 will always be 1 irrespective of what x is. If x is 0, 0 plus 1 is also 1. If x is 1, then 1 plus 1 is always 1, right? So x plus x, this is not equal to 2x, it's x because this is Boolean algebra. So x plus x, if you have x is equal to 1, 1 plus 1, 1. If you have x as 0, then 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. Then x plus x bar is equal to 1. So if, for example, you have x is equal to 1, right? So for this, right? So 1 plus, because x bar is equal to 0, right? So 1 plus 0, 1. If you take x as 0, then 0, then its complement will be 1, right? Right? So you will always get 1, right? So the double complement will cancel out and we will get the original. So x double complement is equal to x, right? So these are the commutative laws, right? You can commute x and y, right? When we have the AND operation, you can also commute x and y when we have the OR operation, right? And this is the associative law. Now here we have y and z, they are associated, and we have placed brackets, right? And then over here on the right hand side we have associated x with y, right, rather than associating y with z. So this is the associative law, and this is the associative law when we have the OR operation, right? So this is the distributive law, right? This is state multiplication, right? And this is also the distributive law, state multiplication, and these are the consensus theorem, right? X plus x bar y is equal to x plus y, right? So these are the DeMorgan's law, right? If you have x dot y complement, we will be having x complement, and we replace this dot with plus sign, right, or operator y bar. And this is the DeMorgan's law, x plus y whole complement is equal to x complement dot y complement, right? So this is like whenever you talk about the DeMorgan's law, so this is the shortcut, like break the line and change the sign. So you can see that we have broken the line over here and we have replaced this dot with this plus, And again we have a plus b whole complement. We have broken the line and changed the sign. So here plus, we replace this plus with this dot, right? So this is all about today's lecture. So today we have discussed the Boolean algebra and the evolution of Boolean algebra and different Boolean functions that includes and, or, and not, right? And then we discussed about the representation. We can represent Boolean expression or Boolean or digital circuit by using truth table, right? You can also use waveforms. You can also use Boolean expression to represent a digital circuit, right? And then we discussed different laws regarding the Boolean algebra, and we also talked about different properties: associative property, commutative property, and the distribution properties. Then we discussed DeMorgan's law. So you can look in your textbook and you can try to solve different examples regarding the simplification. So that's all for today's lecture. So मेरी तरफ से अल्लाह हाफिज़. अपना, अपने दोस्तों का, रिश्तेदारों का, गिरदे नुमा के लोगों का बहुत ख्याल रखिएगा. अस्सलाम वालेकुम.